Unacceptable high-handedness on display in Maharashtra. A policeman beaten up not by some louts but by MLAs cutting across party lines. Assistant Police Inspector Sachin Suryawanshi had pulled over the car of Kshitij Thakur, a Maharashtra MLA. First, the police officer was summoned to explain his action in the assembly. He was accused of breach of privilege by the politicians, and when he stood his ground, he was thrashed. Kshitij Thakur, the man under fire this evening, will be joining us live in just a moment. I have some very serious questions I think he needs to answer. But before that, let's get our viewers a full sense of how democracy was disgraced by the men who were chosen by people to uphold the law and also to make the law, not to break it. Take a look at this.
A policeman being led away on a stretcher. This after he was brutally thrashed. Ordinarily, such an incident wouldn't have evoked a response, but the cop was thrashed by MLAs in the Legislative Assembly of the state. He had dared to stop this MLA from driving recklessly. The MLA was so infuriated by the cop that he moved a privilege motion against the police officer and had him summoned. The unforgivable high-handedness of the MLAs has drawn sharp responses.
मैं हिंदी में आपको कहता हूँ, आज जो विधानसभा के परिसर में जो घटना घटी और जो एक पुलिस अफसर के ऊपर कुछ हाथ उठाया गया, उस घटना की मैं पुरजोर तरीके से निंदा करता हूँ। राज्य के इतिहास में ऐसी घटना कभी नहीं घटी थी। जांच चल रही है और तुरंत कल ही जो भी दोषी व्यक्ती होंगे उनके खिलाफ सख्त कारवाई की जाएगी।
विधानसभेच्या आवारात जी घटना घडली त्यांचा आम्ही निषेध करतो की अशा प्रकारे कुठलीही घटना कोणाच्या मारहाणीची समर्थनीय होऊ शकत नाही आणि ह्या संदर्भामध्ये विधिमंडळामध्ये निश्चितपणे चर्चा होईल आणि ज्यांचा दोष असेल त्यांच्यावर कारवाई सुद्धा करण्याच्या संदर्भामध्ये तशा प्रकारचा निर्णय होईल, तीच आम्हाला अपेक्षा आहे।
तो उस समय एक गाड़ी आई MH48A1, तो इसको हमारे लोगों ने रोकने के लिए बोला, तो देर में जाकर के रुकी। उसके खिलाफ हमने जब बोला कि आपकी स्पीड ज़्यादा है या उस पर एक्शन लेने लगे, तो उन लोगों ने उसमें बताया कि मैं आमदार हूँ, MLA हूँ। उस बात में जो बाचाबाची हुई, आपस में कुछ बहस हुई।
The BJP and Shiv Sena and the MNS, whose MLAs were allegedly involved in the ugly incident, to express their shock.
सभागृह के बाहर एक पुलिस कर्मी को कुछ विधायकों ने मारा, इस प्रकार की जो बात आई है, मैं मानता हूं कि किसी की भी कुछ भी गलती हो तो लोक प्रतिनिधि जो है, विधायक जो है, उसमें अपना गुस्सा शांत रखना चाहिए और कानून के अंदर काम करना ये जरूरी है, ऐसा मेरा मत।
विधिमंडळामध्ये कोणत्याही शासकीय कर्मचाऱ्याला किंवा पोलिसांना कोणी हात उचलू नये आणि ते मला मान्य होणार नाही। जर अशा प्रकारे पोलिसांवरती जर कोण हात उचलत असेल किंवा शासकीय कर्मचाऱ्यांवरती, तर ते माझ्या पक्षाचे असोत किंवा इतर कोणाच्याही पक्षाचे असोत, त्यांच्यावरती लोकशाहीमध्ये जे कडक तुम्हाला कारवाई करायची आहे ती कारवाई झालीच पाहिजे।
So, if the politicians truly mean what they say, should they not immediately remove these MLAs from the House? If no action is taken against these MLAs, would the Maharashtra Assembly be condoning such arrogance? With Kamlesh Sudar in Mumbai, Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
This is an absolute disgrace to our democracy. The people who were elected to make laws turning into lawbreakers, in fact resorting to first-rate gundagardi, that too inside the Maharashtra Assembly. Joining us is the man who's in the eye of a storm, Kshitij Thakur. He's an MLA in the Maharashtra Assembly. He's joining us on this program, as also Ashish Shella, leader of BJP. I want to go across to Kshitij Thakur first. Kshitij, across the country, people have followed what you did. The manner in which you and your fellow politicians went and beat up this policeman, regardless of the provocation, regardless of what happened in the past, is absolutely despicable. How do you, as a lawmaker, justify and defend going and beating up a policeman who was only doing his job, Kshitij?
So first of all, I think you should know the story that has happened yesterday. Yesterday, when I was traveling towards the house, my driver got pulled over for speeding. When he got pulled over, I was sleeping in the car. I got up. They charged him for the speeding. Obviously, I paid. I'll show you the receipt that I paid the charges. My only fault was when I asked the officer that why are two different sections that have been charged to my driver. Because one, obviously, I knew that it was speeding. The second, I didn't know. That time, the Havaldar who was there, who gave me the receipt, told me to speak to his superior. When I asked the superior, he was not willing to answer. He was like, "मैं तुमको बताएगा नहीं मैं charge काहे के लिए किया है." That is the point when I told him that I'm an MLA, I'm a people's representative. I need to know, I have the right to know that why have you charged me with the two sections that you can see on the receipt right here. At that time he told me that अंदर रहेगा तुम्हारे घर पे. I don't think a police officer should treat anybody, forget being an MLA or a people's representative. I don't think an officer should treat any
Kshitij, with respect,
the way
even if the policeman was out of line, why did you get violent? What justifies you getting violent, beating up that poor policeman, sending him to hospital? If you had a complaint, you should have complained to the DGP or the commissioner.
I'm getting there, sir. You should check the footage that has been recorded on the Vidhan Bhavan security cameras. I think after that you will know that there was no beating, there was no hype that has been created. I think I would recommend that the police officer should be checked in a hospital, whichever hospital the media wants them to wants him to be checked. I think the doctors were instructed by his superiors to tell that whatever allegations or the beating up by the political leaders or the MLAs or my fellow people from the assembly is all wrong. I think the media
so what happened?
Hospital
You went and embraced him, Kshitij, you
officer.
hugged him and he ended up in hospital. I'm playing those pictures of Mr. Suryawanshi in hospital. He's lying on a bed. We can see he's very badly off. So you think you went and hugged him and embraced him and that's what happened to him? Please, give us a story we can believe. If you're at fault, admit that you're at fault. Say sorry to Sachin Suryawanshi.
Sir, I think it's a very serious issue and I don't think you should joke about this issue.
I'm not
It's
joking.
a very serious issue. I don't support. Hugged him, I think it was a joke. But anyways, I don't think I do not support whatever has happened in the house today. But I also do not support whatever he did to a public representative. I'm not here to argue about how he treated me. I'm here to argue about how a person should treat another human being. That is where I raise my question in the assembly.
No, you can raise any question in the assembly and that's your right. But what justifies beating up the policeman? Are you above the law? Why should you not be charged, Kshitij? You should be booked and action should be taken against you. What may? Just because you're an MLA, you think you're above the law, Kshitij?
No, sir, not at all. If you think I'm guilty or not, if I'm proven guilty, I'm willing to face whatever charges the Constitution applies on me. But right now, you have no right to accuse me of something that I've not done. So let the inquiry get over, let them accuse me, and then we will have a talk about why did I hit him or why I did not hit him. I think right now you're not a person to tell me that I'm accused, or you're not a person to accuse me of any ill doings that I've not done.
Kshitij, you're talking like a lawyer. I don't know if you're a lawyer by profession, but that's what you're talking like. The fact is, there is a policeman in hospital at this time. MLAs, and this has been widely documented, the story has been carried all day. MLAs went and beat up Sachin Suryawanshi because they were so angry. How can a policeman stop a MLA for over speeding? Because our politicians are above the law. No one can dare say anything to them. And if a policeman does his job, see what the MLAs will do to him. That's what you've done. That's what you've proven, that politicians think they are above the law.
Here is the receipt. I have paid rupees 700. My only fault was asking him why my driver is charged of
That's not your only fault, Kshitij. I want you to listen because I have a comment here from Sachin Suryawanshi.
That is my fault.
I am going to ask our producers to pull up and scroll through the graphic of what the policeman said. We've heard your version. Let's also hear Sachin Suryawanshi. He's in hospital right now. He can't speak. I'm going to take you through what he says. I was sitting outside the chamber of Vasant Dhavkare. Two MLAs, Ram Kadam and Kshitij Thakur, saw me. They started pointing towards me and saying, he's the one who charged us for overspeeding. Then they started hitting me and kicking me. I tried to run away, but other MLAs blocked my way. I was beaten so hard that I lost consciousness. Next, I remember that other policemen were taking me to hospital. This is what the victim is saying. What do you have to say about Sachin Suryawanshi's comment, sir?
Okay, so I have a CD over here which I recorded from my cell phone yesterday when he was ill-treating me. I think you should watch the CD and then get back to me. Tell me how a person should talk to a public representative. Whatever he said.
Just I think, you keep harping on you being a public representative because you're a public representative. What gives you extra rights over any other citizen? You are as responsible to defer to the law as I am and any other citizen watching this broadcast this evening.
I totally agree to you. That's why I didn't tell him that I'm an MLA. Let me go.
You keep saying that because I'm an MLA, he held me back, and that's why I had a problem. I asked him, how dare you do this because I'm an MLA? How is being an MLA any line of defense? Were you or were you not guilty of overspeeding? Kshitij, straight question. Were you or were you not guilty of overspeeding?
Not me, my driver.
Your driver was guilty of overspeeding.
And secondly,
your driver was guilty of overspeeding, so the original provocation came from you.
Yes, he was.
You broke the law, and because the policeman wanted to do his duty, you wouldn't allow him to do his duty. And that's why you went and beat him up, because you were angry. Sir, because an MLA had been challaned. No MLA can be challaned because MLAs are above the law stage. That's the message you're trying to give.
So either you speak or let me speak.
Were you or were you not guilty? Your driver was guilty of overspeeding. You accept that, Kshitij, don't you?
If you're letting me complete the sentence, then I would like to speak, or else you speak and I'm sitting here helpless.
Don't deviate. I'm asking you a direct, straight question, Kshitij. Did you or did you not have your driver overspeed?
If you let me answer, I will give you a straightforward answer.
I'm allowing you to
speak. If you let me answer, I will give you a straightforward answer.
I want to hear your answer.
Okay. So when I was pulled over, I paid the challan. That is when my friend told me that there are two different sections that I have been charged. That is when I asked the officer, what are the two different sections? One section obviously was speeding, that I knew. The second section, he was not willing to tell me. That is when I told him that I'm an MLA.
I've understood that story. You've repeated this. I've understood this. Did you or did you not beat Sachin Suryawanshi? No, I'm sorry.
Just because I'm an MLA, I cannot be charged. That is wrong.
You're giving that sense. Did you or did you not beat up Sachin Suryawanshi? Because not just you, there were other MLAs also. Ram Kadam from the MS, Rajan Salvi, Pradeep Jaiswal, Kshitij Thakur, all of them got hold of this policeman and beat him up. Is that a fact or not?
Am I proven guilty?
Now you're coming up with another lawyer-like excuse. Did you or did you not beat up this policeman? Was there or was there not an altercation?
I did not beat him up.
How did he end up in hospital then?
I did not beat him up.
Then what happened to him?
I did not beat him up. That's
all
why I requested you that
I spoke to eyewitnesses. I spoke to eyewitnesses who were there in the assembly at that time. They came and said that several MLAs got together. They acted like complete street side goons, like gundas, and they beat up this policeman because he was sitting in the assembly. Is this the manner in which lawmakers should be acting, Kshitij?
Earlier when I requested that this person, Mr. Suryawanshi, should be taken to a private hospital, get his body checkup done in a private hospital, whichever you recommend or whichever any other person recommends, where there'll be no instructions by the superiors that to the doctors on how the report should be made, I think then we will talk about it.
I want to bring in Ashish Shelar from the BJP. No, it's not, unlike what you think about MLAs, I don't believe it's the job of journalists to either find people guilty or punish them. That's the job of lawmakers and we defer to the law. I wish you had done the same. I want to bring in Ashish Shelar. Ashish, you've heard Kshitij's very weak defense. He says that the policeman got, aggressive with us, which is why we went and beat him up. Do you find that to be an acceptable explanation at all, Ashish?
I think, Rahul, there are two incidences we need to take it independently. Number one, what Kshitij is saying right now is the incident which has happened a day prior, and where it looks like, after listening to his story, that aggressiveness of that officer was there. But what has happened today is the second incident, which was in the premises of the assembly. And I am also being the member of Legislative Council and Kshitij being an MLA, we both should agree for this, that any kind of these incidences occurs in the assembly building itself is bad. I think this is not pardonable. The aggressiveness of the Suryawanshi is bad, but intolerance of the MLAs is not justifiable. It looks like this way.
Believe that Kshitij Thakur and other MLAs should be prosecuted for their violence. You know, there are several researchers pulled out several provisions of the IPC under which they can be charged for attacking a public servant. What they've done is despicable. This is a disgrace to democracy, Ashish.
Absolutely. I think the place where it has occurred is the place where the law gets enacted for the state.
Absolutely.
And I think there itself, maybe because of the provocation of anybody, if MLAs belong to whichever party it belongs to, if they are becoming aggressive and intolerant and they becomes physical for whatever reason, that has to be checked by the footages, obviously. But after this, if they are become so aggressive, it is not pardonable, and I think it's a shameful evening for Maharashtra.
Absolutely. Ashish Shelar, for speaking your mind, thank you very much. I want to put what you said to Kshitij Thakur, a fellow politician, saying what you've done is shameful. You should in fact be remorseful. You should apologize to Sachin Suryawanshi regardless of what happened. Even if there was a provocation, what you've done today is shameful.
Who says that whatever I've done is done? Mr. Shelar did not say by a word that I was accused of any beating or any ill-treating the public officer. I think it is only you that giving judgment about me beating up a police officer. Let the reports come out, let there be inquiry. If I'm guilty, then you tell me that I have done whatever I've done is shameful. Right now, I've not done anything that is shameful.
I want to bring in Dr. Kiran Bedi. Kshitij Thakur, stay with me for a moment. One of India's best known police officers, because we've seen democracy being disgraced by lawmakers in the Maharashtra Assembly who went and beat up a policeman because he had the temerity to actually challan a lawmaker. The lawmaker was so livid that how can a lawmaker be challan? What is it that you want to tell Kshitij Thakur? He's a young politician, but this is the attitude he brings into politics, that if I'm a politician, I'm above the law, I cannot be challan. No policeman dare ask me any questions. Dr. Kiran Bedi.
Sure, or Hindi?
English, please.
Is he on the line?
Yes,
with
he
you?
is. He can hear you, ma'am.
Why did they do this? I want to know. Isn't he a lawmaker? And if he becomes a lawbreaker, then what is the difference between him and many people who are behind the bars who have also broken law?
No, because we've spoken to Kshitij so far, and he says that the policeman got aggressive when he was asked by Kshitij, why is he being challaned? What are the two provisions under which he's being challaned? He alleges that the policeman got aggressive at that time, and that's when Kshitij said, I'm a lawmaker, I have the right to know, why aren't you telling me? And therefore, when the policeman came to the Maharashtra Assembly today, several MLAs were already very agitated. They were very angry with the policeman for acting in this aggressive fashion against a lawmaker.
Quite right. I do not know the case, but the point is, does he admit that he also broke the law? Did he break the law or did he not? And is he not, if he's a lawmaker, can he also be a lawbreaker?
Absolutely.
And if he is a lawbreaker, then the punishment to him also is the same as to anybody else who breaks the law.
Absolutely. Kshitij, what do you want to tell Dr. Kiran Bedi? As a lawmaker, such actions are not expected from you. You know, you've got a long way to go in politics. You're a young man, but you've set completely the wrong example, Kshitij. What do you want to tell Dr. Kiran Bedi?
Sir, let me get the facts right. Nothing has proven as of now. I totally agree to what Ms. Kiran Bedi has to say. If I have broken law, I should be charged with whatever the constitution, like a normal person. I should be charged like a normal person. But right now, you're falsely accusing me of something that I've not done. So whatever Kiran Bedi had to say, I totally agree. If I've broken law, I should be charged. If not, why are you accusing me of something that I've not done?
You're being accused because several people saw what all of you together did. Ram Kadam, Rajan Salvi from the Shiv Sena, Ram Kadam from the MNS, Pradeep Jaiswal, independent MLA, and Kshitij Thakur went and beat up this policeman. This story is being widely reported. Everyone who's in the Maharashtra Assembly, several of them saw exactly what you did. And those are the facts. And you must defer to the law. If this policeman is in jail, if this policeman is in a hospital at this time, his statement is before us. 8 MLAs, he say, attacked him. Because also, Dr. Kiran Bedi, this sends a bad message to the policemen on the ground. This is why they feel that, let MLAs be, let's not take action against them, because at the end of it, we are the ones who will end up in hospital. It sends a very bad message, Dr. Bedi.
It's not only a bad message. I'm sure the MLAs and the MPs realize that they are leaders in the community. People have elected them. People expect certain different kinds of standards from them. They are representative of the law concerning people. Do they realize the kind of responsibility they have? Others can make a mistake, but not they.
Absolutely.
Because they are not representing the people. So if somebody has made a mistake, is another mistake from an elected MLA in whom the people have reposed trust, who are supposed to be role models in the city? Are they the right? Is he by aggression, by retaliation? Are they being the right role model?
Those are very important questions you've raised, Dr. Bedi. Action should and must be taken. Kshitij says, let there be an inquiry, but we saw also what happened in the Karnataka Assembly when 3 MLAs were found watching porn, and later there was a shambolic inquiry which found that they were actually researching some speech that they wanted to make. If it is a proper inquiry, and we don't have much faith in the sort of inquiry that politicians will conduct, because their first inclination could be to protect their own. But if it is an independent inquiry, and if Kshitij Thakur and others are found guilty, then action must be taken against them. And Kshitij has said he's prepared to accept the consequences. For the moment, Ashish Shelar, Kshitij Thakur and Dr. Kiran Bedi for joining us on the center stage face-off. Thank you very much.